Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
A proven winner on the hockey rink, Joe Wolf knows what it takes to be the best. That's why he has the best rates in the area and only has rave reviews of his work with Wolf Power Washing. Get that siding back to its original color with Joe. Call him at 314-420-5434. That's 314-420-5434.
Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with
Valley Sports West.
And you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all the hot takes.
I totally see Hoffman putting up 30, 35 goals
in a 56-game season?
Yeah.
You know, Jeff, you were saying you didn't think he was going to score 20 goals next season.
I still think
that's a possible.
I mean, I will literally be happy to grab a live crow and eat it if Tarasenko comes back and scores 30, 40 goals in the NHL in a season.
With a last name like Bolduc, he's not going to play for us. There's just something about that last name is not going to make the NHL on this team. And for the Blues, I just don't see it happening. It seems like a name that is not conducive to play in the NHL.
Kurt Price is already making his claim that Zach Bolduc will never wear a Blues jersey in a regular season game.
No.
Hey everyone, this is Let's Go Blues Radio, and we are in episode 32 of season 13, also franchise episode number 463 all time. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokers Realty. Contact Mike at mike@strikewithmike.com or call him at 314-753-4060 and get started selling your current home or buying your new home today. And by Wolf Power Washing. If you're in the St. Louis area and need the services of a professional power washer, Joe Wolf is your guy. Call him at 314-420-5434 and get the best prices in the area. On today's show, I am joined by some very special guests. GM Savannah Prefontaine and alternate captain Morgan Grzybowski of Alabama Women's Hockey. That's right, Alabama Women's Hockey. You've heard that correctly. Very exciting to hear the story behind this program, how they went through developing it, how they got to where they're at. Just stay tuned. I'm glad you're tuning in for this one because it's a very cool story and just two very fun guests to have on as well. Before we get to that, there was some slight Blues news. Steve Konowalchuk was named the head coach of the Springfield Thunderbirds, the Blues AHL affiliate. He spent last season as an associate coach with the AHL's Colorado Eagles, where he helped lead the team to a 40-25-7 regular season record and a fifth-place finish in the Western Conference. He's been coaching now for a while. He's even been an assistant coach for NHL teams in the past. So should be interesting to see what he can bring to the Springfield Thunderbirds now that Drew Bannister has graduated to the St. Louis Blues. Quick fun story about Steve Konowalchuk that I wanted to share, and I might have even told this on the show before, but it's one of my favorite hockey-type stories, fantasy hockey related. So I have a friend back in the day when Steve Konowalchuk was playing in the NHL. I believe he was on the Avalanche at the time. The number one player in fantasy would have always been Ilya Kovalchuk at the time. And so, two names very similar, Kovalchuk, Konowalchuk. So we were playing fantasy hockey, and we had our draft. And our guy, my friend at the time, Brian, was going to draft Ilya Kovalchuk. And he had been bragging in the chat leading up to the draft, like, oh man, you guys are screwed. I'm getting Kovalchuk. So he, which I don't understand to this day why he did this, he had it sorted by alphabetical rather than player rankings. So he went to select, said, draft has started. Brian has the first pick. Boom. Brian drafts Steve Konowalchuk. And instantly in the chat, you just see from Brian, no, oh, no, no, no. And for those who don't know, Steve Konowalchuk, yeah, he might have been a pretty decent fantasy player in terms of, he got hits, he got penalty minutes, but he's not a number one overall pick. He never was, and he'll be the first to tell you he should never be a number one overall pick. So just a funny story about him that I had to share because, my God. And actually, Brian finished the league pretty, I don't want to say he was in the top 4 still. So after quite the blunder in the draft, he still turned out pretty well. One last thing, and again with head coaching that I wanted to mention, I'm sure most Blues fans know, Craig Berube, Chief. He is back coaching in the NHL. He took the Toronto Maple Leafs head coaching job. So congratulations to him. Great hire by the Toronto Maple Leafs. One of probably the only real true Stanley Cup champion coach available right now. Obvious exceptions to like Joel Quenneville, who's not active as NHL coach. So, great hire by the Maple Leafs, and I kind of hate that he's with the Maple Leafs now because now I can't root for the collapse. Every year I kind of enjoy seeing the Maple Leafs fans collapse in the playoffs. Now that Coach Berube's there, I kind of want to see him succeed. So we'll see what they do this summer. But I do think that that is a huge improvement behind the bench, a guy that really does get the best out of his players. So good luck to the Maple Leafs and to Coach Craig Berube. Well, when we come back from break, I will be joined by Savannah and Morgan of Alabama Women's Hockey. You're listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
We'll return after these messages.
As a hockey player, Mike Burgoyne knows a thing or two about making the perfect play. And when it comes to real estate, he's always ready to score the winning goal for his clients. If you're a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues Radio listener looking to score the home of your dreams, you'll receive special rates with Mike. Go ahead, shoot some questions his way, and he'll have the answer quicker than Curtis Joseph on a breakaway.
Curtis Joseph got the pedal down!
Any barriers? Mike will mow them down like Chris Pronger in front of the net. He'll score you your dream home or sell your existing home faster than a Brett Hall one-timer.
Flip past the Hall, he shoots, he scores!
See Burgoyne's real estate prowess in action today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or by calling 314-753-4060. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com, and that phone number is 314-753-4060. Getting Mike Burgoyne on your team will be the boost your power play needs.
Well, honey, I just priced the power washing for the house, and I think we should just move and condemn this place. It'll be cheaper.
Did you try Wolf Power Washing?
Who?
Oh, I just saw this guy win the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament and thought he was attractive, so I looked him up on social media, and it turns out he's the owner and proprietor of Wolf Power Washing. He claims he has the best prices in town.
But does he use non-flammable, non-toxic chemicals that are safe for Wolfie and our son, little Magnus?
Yes. He ensures there'll be no residue left behind, and he doesn't use any volatile vapors.
Well, this fella sounds like a dream. I just wish I knew how to contact him.
Oh, I know how. You can reach him at 314-420-5434.
314-420-5434, and his name is Joe Wolf of Wolf Power Washing?
That's right.
But how did you know his number so quickly?
I'll never tell.
Wait, what?
That's Wolf Power Washing at 314-420-5434. And make sure to tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
And we are back, and I'm joined by two very special guests on the show. We've got Morgan Grzybowski and Savannah Prefontaine of, yes, Alabama Women's Hockey, which is a thing. So it's very exciting. The formation was completely created in-house And it's just been such a fascinating story. I learned about it in December, and I followed along all season. So we are going to talk with Morgan and Savannah today about the creation of the Crimson Tide women's hockey team, and just a couple other fun little things we'll do. So, ladies, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
So, Savannah, you are is your official title GM of the team?
Yes, sir.
And then Morgan, you're what position do you play?
Captain, and I'm a left wing. Yes.
Left
She's
wing.
also the vice
All right.
president.
And the vice president. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you wear a couple hats.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. So Savannah, you said you're in Georgia right now, but where are you initially from?
Wetaskiwin, Alberta, Canada. It's 20 minutes south of Edmonton.
Okay. So you are an Oilers fan, I'm guessing.
I am a huge Oilers fan.
So this is pre-recorded. So we are recording this before Game 7 between Vancouver and Edmonton. Let's get your prediction. What's going to happen tonight?
Well, unfortunately, it's the hockey world. Everybody was concerned about Bo Bosner's health with the blood clots and everything like that. So praying for him. But I think that definitely Oilers are going to come home with the win tonight. They're in Vancouver, and Vancouver is definitely a tough city to play in. So hopefully they can battle it out. I don't know if you saw the other day with that one goal, whenever they scored their 5th goal of them singing "Living on a Prayer," whenever Evander Kane scored. Oh, that was awesome. But yeah, I'm really hoping that they bring home a win because I get to work with them this summer. So hopefully if they win, then I'll get to work a game.
Yeah, so congratulations to Savannah. I saw you on LinkedIn that you had just received an internship this summer. What will you be doing for the Oilers?
So I'll be working with their community foundation. They have the biggest 50-50 program out of all of the NHL teams. So it's definitely a huge foundation to be a part of. So I'll be helping out with their various departments within the foundation, kind of working mainly with like their communications team, helping them create press releases and stuff like that, helping them with graphics. It's kind of like my forte is like doing stuff with PR. So mainly that kind of stuff, and then helping out during game days if they do have any, like with the 50 thing, selling raffle tickets and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I was up in the air. So when I don't have a team that I'm rooting for, I always just root for every series to go 7 games because everybody loves 7-game series, right? But I will say, for your sake, I will be rooting for the Oilers tonight. I'll even wear my Oilers jersey.
Thank you. Hopefully that will bring us home a win.
There you go. Well, let's hope. Morgan, you, and this is how I came to get to know Alabama women's hockey. You are from St. Louis.
I am, yes.
So I need to ask you a couple St. Louis questions.
Oh, boy.
First of all, the most important one, what high school did you go to?
I went to Marquette High School, but actually, technically, I'm not a true St. Louisan. I was born in born in Wisconsin, then moved to Chicago, and then moved to St. Louis in like 2019. So, sophomore year, I started at Marquette.
Okay, all right. So where's your hockey team allegiance?
I am a St. Louis Blues fan. I am. I've always, even before moving here. So I'm not a bandwagon, anything.
That's the right answer.
My whole family, though, we're all different. Everyone likes different teams.
Yeah, you got a Blackhawks fan in there?
Mom's a Blackhawks fan. Dad's a Detroit Red Wings fan. And then my sister, I don't know, she kind of just like roots against all of us. I feel like she's a St. Louis Blues fan now, though.
Okay. Wow. So your mom is a Blackhawks fan and your dad is a Red Wings fan? Like, how does that work? Those two teams hate each other.
I know. Could not tell you. I don't know why he's a Red Wings fan. He's just always been. I think he loved like a lot of the players, but they get along enough. No problems.
Interesting. Okay. Well, all right. So we got to ask a couple more St. Louis questions for you. What's your take on toasted ravioli?
I hate it. I think it's so bad. I know. I know. Unpopular opinion. I don't like it. And I don't know if you're going to also ask about Emo's Pizza.
I
really don't like that.
That's okay. So I've always said with Emo's, because my wife is from Columbia, Missouri, Mizzou.
Okay. Yep.
And so when she moved here, she was like a baby when they moved here, but her whole family hates Emo's. And I'm like, that's because you're not from St. Louis.
That's what
if
it
you're
is.
From St. Louis, you love it. If you
Yep.
come here later in life, you hate it.
That's
So,
me. That's me.
Yep. I don't blame you one bit. And I'm weird. I love the Provel cheese, but yeah, like my wife brought home something the other day. She's like, I've ordered this pizza at this winery, and I didn't realize it had Provel on it, so you can eat it.
Yes,
I'm like,
when I moved here and we'd go to pizza places or just like restaurants in general and get pizza, it would always have Provel cheese on it, and we wouldn't think about it before because in Chicago, like, has the best pizza ever, and we wouldn't have to think about whether we were going to get horrible cheese on it. So that was
what is Provel cheese?
It's the really like stretchy, like it stretches forever. It's basically a take of provolone and Swiss basically combined.
My way of describing it is it tastes like cheese if you melted the plastic in it. That's what it tastes like to me. That's all I could think about.
Well, I'll disagree with that, but I see your point.
I'm anti-emos.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's an acquired taste, and I'll agree with you on Chicago style. Lou Malnati's is my favorite place to eat.
Oh, it's awesome! It's so good. The deep dish.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mixed opinions on it, but I'm glad that you agree that it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I don't take offense to people not liking St. Louis style pizza. I always tell people when they come here and they're like, "Oh, I got to try that St. Louis style pizza." I'm like, "Don't think of it as a meal. Think of it like a snack."
Yeah.
So it's like eating crackers.
Yeah, you have to go into it thinking you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
Yep, exactly. That is true. All right, what about so what's your favorite St. Louis restaurant to eat at?
Oh, that is a hard question. I don't know. There's so many different styles of food around here. I feel like I have like a favorite for each. This is like the hardest question I feel like you're gonna ask me. I have a lot of favorites. My favorite. This is super random, but my favorite I get most excited about going to is probably to get sushi. And my favorite sushi place it's down in it's like near Chesterfield. It's called Finn Sushi. It's my favorite.
I never had that. Okay.
Super random, but
I'll have to try it now.
Yeah, now I know where to go. I was just in Chesterfield yesterday, so
great advertising for them.
Yeah.
Yes, if Finn would like to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio, you can reach us at radio@letsgoblues.com. Okay, one more St. Louis question for you. Okay. At Halloween, do you tell a joke instead of trick or treat?
Oh my gosh, this was such a culture shock for me because I went trick or treating when I first got here, and I was with some of like the people from St. Louis, and we get to the door and they're like, "Oh, what joke are we gonna tell?"
Wait, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, Savannah's probably like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah. They tell jokes when they
it's so weird.
Okay, so you agree it's odd.
I
would have been so upset if I was like 6 or 7 years old and I like moved to St. Louis and I'm just like not getting candy. I'm just getting jokes.
No, you get candy, but you have to tell the joke.
Yeah, you have to have a joke
you have
ready.
To tell the joke to get the candy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, it's super weird. Like you'll walk up to a house and you'll go, trick or treat, and they'll go, "I want to hear a joke," and it's like that wasn't what I said. I said trick or treat. And
they want to get tricked.
I never understood it. I never, and like I said, I've lived here my whole life. I remember when I started trick or treating, my dad telling me like, "No, you got to have a joke ready," and I'm like, "Why?
Why? Yeah, literally, why?" I don't understand.
It's the dumbest thing ever. So I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't grow up on that, so it's like this is strange.
Yeah, and again, same with my wife's family when they moved here, and they all went trick or treating, and they were like asking for jokes. They're like, "Who asked for jokes?" And I guess somebody on the street even said to them, like, "Hey, I guess you're not from here. Yeah, we tell jokes in St. Louis."
So why? I guess it's just St. Louis. Like Missouri doesn't part. It's like a St. Louis culture. They kind of have their own
very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always, whenever we have kids come up to the door, I'm always like, you don't need to tell a joke. Just say trick or treat. That's it.
We're good. We'll give you your candy, we swear.
Yes. All right. So, again, we're here to talk about Alabama women's hockey, which is very exciting. You guys began this past season as the 7th team to join the Women's College Hockey South Division. Now, Now, okay, let's kind of get into just the craziness of how this all transpired. And I know a little bit, but so how I found out about this was, Morgan, you were you're scorekeeping for H&A out here in St. Louis, which I play in, and so for those who don't know, after games with H&A, you take the score sheet and you hand it to the captain. I just happened to ask you, I was like, she doesn't look like anyone I've seen keep score here before. So I was like, do you play H&A? And you were like, oh, no, but I play for Alabama women's hockey. And I'm like, what? And I was like, that's a thing? And you were like, well, it is now. We're forming the team. And now I find out that was very early in the process. So please, Savannah, Morgan, tell me, how did this all come to be for Alabama women's hockey, for the Crimson Tide?
So Morgan, can I answer this?
Yeah, go for it.
So I previously worked for the men's teams here at Alabama, and they didn't really have like a fan base for their teams. So like I kind of started this thing called Build a Rink, and with that, I was like, okay, if we want a rink here, we got to have a women's team. And Kira, who is the president of our team, was doing broadcasting for the men's team. She was the play-by-play person for us. And the coach of the men's team was kind of like, I've had girls try out for the men's teams a few times, but they haven't been able to because of rules and guidelines and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, Kira, I know another girl, that's like played hockey before, became friends with her a while ago. Like, do you guys like want to get together and I'll help you guys try and start up the team. So I got them to be the team reps for Build a Rink, which is now called Grow the Game, because we're trying to build a rink in Tuscaloosa. So Morgan and Kira kind of became the team reps for us. And it kind of took off after we put together this forum asking who was interested in playing women's hockey. We had over 40 girls fill out the form. Some of them have played before and some of them not have played before. And then we also got Tegan Matthew, who is one of Morgan's friends. She can probably dive deeper into that. One of her childhood best friends. She goes to Alabama as well, and she ended up becoming our vice president of fundraising and not fundraising and sponsorships, but what have we?
Finance.
Vice president of finance. There we go. She became our vice president of finance, and the three of them just like got this program to take off. And it's been awesome to see like how many people have been so supportive of it ever since the beginning. And it honestly didn't start like last December. Kind of started like over the summer this past year is whenever we started putting everything out and stuff like that. So we became an official organization this past December. That's
totally cool. So I mean, it's all student ran, student led. Like, you all jumped on board and said, "Let's do this. Let's see what the interest is." And I think I read somewhere that you got like 50 or 60 responses, right? Like, people saying like, "Yeah, I want to play hockey for you."
Yeah, we had over 50 or 60 girls like sign up and say like they wanted to come and play for us. And we were thinking like, oh, we're not gonna have like that many girls that have played before. We're gonna have to teach a few girls, but like after we did that, we have like over 19 players from like Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, lots of girls from Chicago, St. Louis. Morgan, St. Louis rep. But yeah, it's just awesome to see how many girls are coming down to the South that have played hockey before. It's giving a lot of girls more of a chance to play college hockey because there's not a lot of opportunities to play women's college hockey. And so people are wanting to come down south to play. It's just awesome, like, because SEC is an awesome conference.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And, so something that I loved, and again, that I researched and read later. So you had your first game against the Auburn Tigers in late January. You didn't have your uniforms yet, which is crazy and unfortunate because college rules dictate you have to have uniforms. So tell us what happened. I mean, again, I know the men's team got involved. So what did you guys do?
Well, we needed jerseys to play, and we needed them all to have Alabama somewhere. So the men's team, so nice of them, donated their practice jerseys to us for the game, and we all had to go through and tape with white tape our numbers on the jerseys before the game. We were all like crowded around in the rink, like trying to make numbers look as pretty as possible. And so then we got out there at these taped on jerseys, and I remember my friends went to the game, and they told me afterwards, they're like, Morgan, we're going to be honest with you. When Auburn came out with their nice, like, uniforms looking all put together, and you guys came out with the taped up jerseys, they're like, we got a little bit worried. Like, me too, honestly.
Yeah, that's so that bleeds into my other question. So obviously, and I know that the men have been helping you with coaching as well. So they've been behind the bench for you. How much support did you receive from the men's team?
So I actually work for the men's team. We have 3 different men's teams here in Alabama. One of them is in with ACHA. I'm sure you know what the ACHA is.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 of them are with AAU, and that's like one of like the newer leagues, Amateur Athletic Union. That's the one that the women's team is a part of. But whenever I got this thing like all started like with Grow That Game and stuff like that, all the guys are like very supportive of it, which is like you don't really see that a lot with women's sports, with men's teams supporting their women's teams. A lot of the other girls' teams that we've talked to, they're kind of shocked too, which is kind of surprising because you'd think that they'd want to work together to help their program grow. But we all want to rink in Tuscaloosa, so they've been so supportive of it. And a lot of the guys are actually friends with girls on the team. So like we have a kid on the AAU team. His name's Matthew Kirian. He's from St. Louis. So yeah, they've all been so supportive. They've been willing to help out with everything. I'm actually really good friends with all of them too. Some of them are like my best friends. One of the coaches is still sticking around. We actually got 2 new coaches, Anya Laxton and Kevin Davis. They will be our new 2 head coach and assistant coach. But Nick Reiniger, he plays on the AAU team. He has been the biggest supporter to the girls, like hands down. That is probably our number 1 supporter from all of the men's teams. He loves the confidence the girls has, and he thinks that it's probably the most like talented group and confident group that he's been a part of. He can count like and say it with me that being around like at a men's practice and then at a women's practice, the energy there is just like so different. Like you'd be at a men's practice, a guy would make a bad pass and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, you suck." But then when you're at the women's practice and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got it." Oh my god, it's just like it's such an awesome like thing to see with like guys supporting women's sports. And I think that the era we're in now is like women's sports is like on the come up.
Oh heck yes, with the PWHL and the way that's taken off. I love it. I'm here for it. One of our friends of the show is Amanda Levier. She is the 3rd string goalie for the Minnesota team. And yeah, she talks all the time how amazing it is to see the growth of women's sports right now. And you got Caitlin Clark at the WNBA killing it. Yeah. So, you got to love seeing this kind of stuff. And again, this is why this story captivated me when Morgan first told me about it, because I'm like, what? You're starting a hockey team down there, and it's student-led, and it's just so inspiring. And, and so I know there's a lot of girls that are going to be looking at schools, and it's like, well, I can't go there because they don't have a hockey team. How much do you think this opens up for future hockey players that are wanting to come to Alabama?
Well, we actually have a couple girls who are coming in the fall to play for us, and literally us having a team was their final like deciding factor. Like they always wanted to come here, but they didn't know because they didn't want to give up hockey completely. And then we got the team, and they were like, I can go there and I can play hockey and go to the school that I want. So it's been really cool to see that it's actually making a difference.
Yeah, and we actually like last minute put together a recruit camp, and we had a few girls come down. Some people like weren't able to come because of like days and stuff like that, but we actually have like 4 girls that are like committed to Alabama women's hockey, and one of them is actually from Ontario, Canada, which is very cool. Yeah, so she was between here and Auburn, and I was kind of like her pull because I'm from Canada and her parents are moving down to Tennessee, and so like I was just like, yeah, I'm from Canada. My parents moved me to Georgia when I was 8, all this kind of stuff. And she was like, okay, like Alabama's meant for me. And it's just like seeing girls want to come here to play hockey. Like she was like coming down to the South to want to play hockey. And it's just like, you'd never think that girls would be wanting to come to Alabama to play hockey. Like, it's just like so awesome to be a part of, and like so awesome to be like, say like, oh, like we're like the grassroots of this, like we helped start this, and we're like helping girls like live their dreams. And I think that's one of the reasons like why I've been so happy to be a part of this, is like I've given girls a chance to do something they love. Think like after they thought they were retired and done with it. And it's just like, one of the girls, like I just did one of the senior spotlights for the girls the other day, and I asked them the question, like, what has been your favorite memory for the team? And Gracie Klein, she's one of our recent graduates. She's going to be working in the ICU for University of Maryland. But she said that the first practice was amazing because they all came in, and it was like they already knew each other for like years. Like none of them knew each other at all before this first practice. But then we all came in, and like they were all just like best friends, and like that just like genuinely made me like so happy.
That's what I love about this sport. Because I mean, yes, you guys said it earlier that the men's teams, we treat each other so differently than how the women's teams do. But, you know, it's like we'll have a guy that'll step in for us, they'll sub in one of our men's league games. And it's like he's part of the team. He steps in and we're instantly like, hey, man, how are you? Oh, hey, we're going to have a good game today. Like it's crazy to me how we're just so open and we're just, it's all about teamwork and it's all about teammates. And I tell people all the time in my full-time job, like the reason I love hockey is because of the teamwork aspect. That is what's most important. If you're going to be successful, you need to have good teamwork. You need to be able to play well with others. And it sounds like from the first practice on, you guys saw that in spades.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's definitely like Morgan can like probably like add more onto this. Everybody has a different personality. Like everybody has like something different. They're all majoring in something different. And then like they're all like have involved in different things, and it's just like they can all like help each other with different stuff. So like, hey, like I need help with like the science homework. Morgan can be there. She's so smart. Morgan is probably the smartest person I know, I swear.
Wow.
You.
No, she is up in that library all the time.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing though. What I love about hockey is the environment is everyone is so different. Like I've never really been on a team where everyone is the same, but somehow we all get along. Like everyone clicks no matter what. I don't understand what it is. I don't know if it's like that hockey.
It's the balance. Everybody's just got their like different roles. Yes. Like we have our hype person. That's definitely got to be like Rory or Morgan. Like they're just like they're like everybody's energy is just like so different, but it's like it's awesome. Like that's what I love about all of them.
Really well, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. It's all about that. I love it. I love hearing those stories. So, I wanted to ask you guys. So clearly, first practice, everyone's on the same page. I'm sure there's the skill levels probably bouncing, between players, but you brought it together. You play in your first 2-game weekend series against Auburn, and the success was palpable and instant. 20-0 win, and then an 18-1 win.
Yes.
So, one thing, Morgan can probably go off this. Like, the one thing I'm gonna say is, since like hockey isn't that big in the South, and finding a goalie is probably still hard for even teams that have like NCAA teams, and that's like was the issue. Is like Auburn didn't have an experienced goalie, but neither did we. So like that's one thing I will say. Our goalie had never played hockey before, and she came in and had a shutout.
Yes, she's never played ever.
Wow, that's impressive. Was she a soccer goalie or something before that?
Yeah, she played soccer and field hockey.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
But put on the skates and was like, well, her dad was so excited. She kept talking about how excited her dad was that she was going to be playing hockey. And he shipped down, like express shipped all this gear and like the skates right away when he found out she was going to be playing. He was like, yes, like go do it. And yeah, like
literally. She made her mark.
She did make her mark. First game shutout.
Yeah. That's super impressive. How many points did you have, Morgan?
I
can pull up the score sheet really quick. I have it somewhere.
Let's see. That whole weekend, I remember trying to think of what it was, because if you pull up the score sheet, then
I'm trying to find it. Hopefully I can.
I think I might have it right here actually. So let me see if I can pull it up. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, holy cow, that's very impressive.
Thank you. I mean, from that first goal, everyone got so excited right away. Like the energy, we were like, okay, guys, we might actually be pretty decent.
I wasn't able to find it, but I swear, I think it was 13. I think Morgan had 13 points.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, your
in the
website
first
doesn't
game,
really...
just in that one game.
Man, so hey, how many records are broken already? You know, like Morgan, I don't know if that was the most points of the team, but 13, that's a lot. And then first shutout, I mean, that's impressive. Did she face any shots in that game?
Yeah, she did. I don't know how many, but she did. She had a couple. Like
We have great defense though, so
we do.
Yeah.
The defense was really strong. There's one of my favorite pictures from the game is the goalie for the men's team is standing behind, like against the glass behind where our goalie was, and I remember she like stopped a shot, and there's this video of him like with his arms up, like mouth wide, like screaming. And I was like, this is just so cute. Like everyone's so excited.
Yeah,
That's
like all the
very
guys.
cool.
That's like another thing is like all of the guys were like, hey, if like any of the girls like who haven't played before need help, like we'll come out. And like Luke Haggett was one of those guys. He's like our goalie for the men's team for the AAU team, and he did like camps. I forgot what the camp was called. It's like I think it was called Shane Clifford Goalie School or something like that. Like he traveled across the United States this past year, like working with goalies, and he like came in and he was like, yeah, I'll come and help, and like he helped her out, and it was just like, oh, okay, like we have guys on the ice helping the girls out, like this is awesome.
That's so cool. And again, like to see that camaraderie come through from the men's team is super impressive, because I know I know of when I was in college that would not have happened with the team of the school I played on. Like it would have been like, oh, the women want to start a team. Oh, this is our school. Like I knew those guys. I know that's like they would have thought. So to hear that is incredible. And it's great to know that they're so involved, and you know, you guys are kind of in this together. I think that's really great.
We feel really lucky, especially like even kind of like all the teams have been helpful. Like that, the D3 AAU team, they invited us to one of their practices, because we only had 1 or 2 practices before that first Auburn game scheduled. And we're like, oh gosh, like this is not a lot of ice. And so the D3 AAU team, they're like, hey, if any of your girls want to come out to our practice, like get extra ice time, like come on ahead. And they were so welcoming. So that's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, so you mentioned it, 2 practices, and you've already kind of mentioned the rink issue. So you're in Tuscaloosa,
Yes.
and well, that's where the university is. And you do not have a community ice rink, and the university has not built one. So you have to travel to, I believe it's pronounced Pelham, in Alabama. So it's about an hour away. What are their plans? Is there something people can give to if they want to support your cause of getting a rink closer? Anything like that going on?
So Grow the Game, we have an Instagram right now. We're currently going through applications for that. We're kind of gonna be building a website, but Grow the Game was currently called Build a Rink. And it's an organization. Our mission is to grow the game of hockey in the South. And it's like an umbrella over all of the hockey teams, kind of. It's the organization that I'm president of. But it's like we don't really have like a plan for getting a rink yet, because the university and the city has not been very helpful with that. But I think that once the girls come in and set the standard and hopefully get us a national championship, they're going to be more than eager to build us the rink, because like they've already taken off and like set like records. And I think that if they give us more opportunities to do that, I think that they will see that hockey can work in the South, and it'll be a boost for the university.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I love hockey everywhere is the way it should be. Yeah, I was bummed. Like, everyone makes fun of me because I was bummed when the Atlanta Thrashers had to move to Winnipeg, because I was like, you never gave Atlanta a fair shake at a good hockey team. They always sucked. So it's like you put a good team there. Look at Arizona. Maybe they would actually thrive. And so I love seeing that there is a passion and a love for the game down in Alabama. What's your crowds like to come see the games?
Well, we for the men's team, they don't really get much of a crowd. They get some like few fans sometimes, but it's just like hard because like it's a university, and like most university, your fans are going to be students, and a lot of the students that come here, they don't have cars and stuff like that. So like having to drive like an hour away to come to a game, it's kind of hard. But I have something in the works, like with Grow the Game. We're trying to work with the city. They do like an annual outdoor rink in the winter, and so we're trying to do it to where they build the rink a little bit bigger to where we can have an outdoor game there. Because yeah, UGA's done it in the past. The guys played in an outdoor game this past January against UGA in Athens. They're getting a rink because they did that with their outdoor thing. They saw that people actually enjoyed hockey, and they were like, okay, people want to come watch hockey games, so their city decided to build their rink, and they're getting an ECHL team sometime soon, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Athens, if you look at it, you might be able to look it up on your computer right now, but Athens is building a beautiful rink. It is huge. They're going to be able to hold concerts there and everything. Wow. And I think that's something that Tuscaloosa needs, is that we don't have like an indoor concert venue in Tuscaloosa. We have an amphitheater, and like all of those shows are sometimes ruined by rain. So like, you can have hockey, you can have concerts, you can have events. Like, Tuscaloosa needs a rink.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely
I know
does.
So many students would go to games. Like, how it's like another thing to root for, and hockey's so fun to watch. Even if you don't understand. Like, I have a couple of friends who went to my games, and they're from, like, Texas and have not watched hockey before. And they were like, this is so entertaining. Like, I didn't know what was going on, but this is entertaining. And I was like, yeah, like, more students would come.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is take someone to a Blues game that's never been to a hockey game or has never really watched hockey. Because that's what you always hear that too, right? Like, oh, I don't watch hockey. It's hard to follow. And I'm like, you got to go to a game. Go to a game, witness it live, and then you will have a new appreciation for it. Mm-hmm. And I did the same thing. I brought my 15-year-old nephew to a game for his first game ever this year. And he was like, this is incredible. Like, what have I been missing? And I'm like, I know. It's so awesome.
That was probably the best feeling for you and him. That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love being able to share my love for hockey with anyone. So, yeah, that's incredible. I'm with you. Tuscaloosa needs a hockey rink. Make sure to keep in touch with me, and whatever we can do to help your fundraising efforts, we're in.
You.
Yeah, we'd love to work with you guys. We're going to be doing more work with like building a website and stuff like that. I'll send that over to you. But we're going through applications right now. We're kind of like trying to rebuild our exec, because Grow the Game is also a student-ran organization. So yeah, we'll definitely keep in contact with you about that. Tell them you guys can go follow Grow the Game UA. That's what our Instagram is.
Grow the Game UA. All right, I will definitely follow that after this. After we're done here. So some things that I wanted to kind of go over real quick as well. So Morgan, you say that you are a left wing. So who was your idol growing up?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, my idol growing up was Kendall Coyne. She was on the USA women's team. I always loved her. She was like, my sister and I both loved her. We went to her hockey camps in Chicago that she would hold, and like, she's so nice in person too. She's just like one of those great idols for me. And she's just doing so well. She's in the PWHL now and doing amazing. So she's definitely my role model. We actually have one of her sticks at home.
Oh, nice.
My family, one of her sticks. So she's my favorite.
Oh, that's great. So you have the speed like Kendall does?
I would say.
Yeah, Morgan's our fast player. Like, we call her Speedy. Like, finally Speedy. That's going to be your new nickname. That's what all the coaches said about her, is like, she's fast.
Oh, that's so nice.
There you go. So you
that's what the guys said about her too. So
I also love like the aggressive part of hockey too. That's like one of my favorites. It's really fun being able to like get in there. And our first game, I had the only 2 penalties.
Oh, nice.
Great. Wait,
did Tegan not get a penalty?
Oh, and Tegan. Me and Tegan. I got 2 and she got 1.
So the 2 St. Louis people got penalties?
She's from Chicago, but
Midwest people.
Yeah, Midwest people. Tegan and I grew up playing hockey together in Chicago at the Naperville Sabres. And so we both just ended up at UA and are playing again together, which is so awesome. And another girl on the team, Rory Clark, actually played with us too. So all 3 of us back playing together in college, which blows my mind.
Yeah, that's amazing. Very cool. So for Savannah, you're kind of the general manager. It seems like you've got your feet in the water everywhere. What's a typical game day like for you?
So I guess like with the women's, like I haven't had a game day with them yet. I kind of just like threw people in the penalty box who I could find during those games because our games were at 10 o'clock, sadly. That was the only ice time the rink gave us. So that was a little upsetting. But for a men's game, I usually never am able to sit down. I'm always running around the rink, making sure all of my staff is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Making sure like the broadcast is all set up, making sure no technical difficulties with like the computer and stuff like that, making sure social media girls are where they're supposed to be, getting that coverage with the girls, making sure like people are doing their interviews, pre-game interviews and post-game interviews. So we have that set up. So we'll have people interview the girls. They'll pick a player out and do like a little blurb that we post on the Instagram. And then making sure people are in the penalty box. We have our stats keeper. So basically, I'm never sitting down. I'm kind of a headless chicken during games. But whenever the game is going on, I'm kind of in the zone. Usually the person that's banging on the glass whenever they score. So you'll definitely hear me and see me during games.
That's fantastic.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Morgan? I know you've got some responsibilities off the rink as well.
Well, a game day. Well, we've only had 4 so far, but at least like our home ones against Auburn, we dressed all nice. We came in looking good. It was really fun. We were all excited to be there, especially the first day. We were all really nervous, but got together. We were all kind of like hanging out, trying to get the nerves shaken out, did our warm-ups. We were doing some like fun little videos, like hyping up, and then got in the locker room. And that's where we all kind of like lock in, because that's when we realize it's just fun. Like we were all hanging out when we're in the locker room. Like we don't need to be nervous. Like this is fun for us. We're all together. It's like a little family. We're all sitting in the locker room. And then our coaches would come in and they were so hype. It was awesome. They had the best energy ever. We were all so excited. You could probably hear us from a mile away screaming in that locker room before the game.
Oh, so that's what I heard in January in St. Louis.
Yes.
I was like, man, that sounds like it's coming from really far away.
That was
us.
us.
And even though those coaches aren't with us, I will say they were like some of the best guys that we had. They were definitely like the biggest supporters. Cal and Parker, they decided to not be with us anymore because they're sticking with hockey. They wanted to dedicate more time with their hockey team. We kind of told them like an ultimatum, like you can either play or you can coach, and they decided to play. And so, but like it's hockey. Like they want to continue their love for the game, and like it's understandable. They're going to be their number one fans cheering them on the glass, and so I'm really excited for that. But whenever they were coaching, I think that they definitely like gave the girls like the thought that like, okay, we can do this. Like the guys are supporting us. We have this like support system right here. So definitely will say Cal and Parker and Nick, they definitely like helped the program a lot. They were like they did it all for us, and you know, as college students having to play, coach, and then also work, definitely something that's like a lot to juggle, but I can't thank them enough for all they did for the team.
I couldn't have asked for a greater like beginning season. Like we weren't technically in season yet, but it was just the best start ever. So I'm super thankful for it. And I'm really glad, honestly, that we had the guys as our coaches to start, because like it kind of just brought the unity together with the men's teams even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and again, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but like we have 2 awesome coaches coming down. So our new head coach, Kevin Davis, he actually reached out to me this past year, and I was like, kind of like, okay, yeah, we have these student coaches right now, but I'll keep in touch with you. And then contact me again at the end of the season, and I was like, okay, let's like hop on a call with this guy, and he got on with me, and he was just like, he was like the Nick Saban of hockey. So I was just like, I was blown away with like all of the stuff that he told me. He was like, do the girls like want to win a national championship? And I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, we're gonna get that national championship. He was like, and he was just like awesome. And then our new assistant coach, Anya Laxton, she actually just graduated. I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Worcester State.
Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester State. They actually just won what I don't know, the NCAA D3 for women's hockey. She played for their women's hockey team. She actually went to Becker College before Worcester started their hockey program. It was after Becker closed for COVID. And funny story, she went over to Worcester and she started the program there. And she said that their first game that they went on and wearing the men's practice jerseys with tape numbers. So very cool story. Our assistant coach started an NCAA program and they started off with tape numbers. So, you know, like Maybe that'll be our start. Maybe the women's program is going to be the NCAA program for Alabama. Like, because, there's some schools that have NCAA programs for just the women's team. Like, for instance, our club, we have a club rowing men's team, but we have an NCAA women's team. So, like, maybe the women's team is going to be the jump for us.
That's incredible. So you're actually having coaches, not the men's team players come and coach. I mean, I mean, this being your first technical season, that's huge. That's exciting news.
Yeah, and big plus is Kevin actually used to play on the men's team back whenever they started up, back in 2013, and he is from Detroit. So, yeah.
There's too many Detroit and Red Wings references in this show. I don't like it.
I know.
I will say our president and captain, Kira, she's awesome. She plays defense. Like, literally nothing's getting past her. She played for Little Caesars. So, yeah, she's
also a Detroit Red Wings fan.
Sorry, I'm dropping so many Detroit things. I don't know if Kevin's a Detroit Red Wings fan, though. I'm not really sure what
he better not be.
He is.
No. You don't need another.
No. Let's get more Blues people in there. We're the more fun people.
Well, we definitely have a Blues fan on the men's team, Keo.
Yes. So
nice.
We have at least 2. We need to keep recruiting though. Those St. Louis.
Yeah, we will. All right, tell you what, I'll go have a bunch of kids and make them go play for you guys.
Perfect. Great.
Right, let's do it.
You can be a recruiter for what's it called, our scout in St. Louis.
There you go. I'll do it. I'm in. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, obviously you guys have been through a lot with this. I mean, there's so much that goes into creating a team for a university. So if there's another group of girls who are maybe thinking the same thing, like they want to start a team for their high school team, or maybe their university doesn't have a women's team, what advice would you give those women?
You want to go, Morgan?
Sure. I mean, this is a super basic, straightforward, but honestly, just do it, because you never know how many people are going to be involved. Before, when we were sending out those forms, we were so nervous. We're like, really, how many people will actually be interested in this or will want to play women's hockey? And it was so much more than we thought. And so honestly, just try. And so many people are going to be there to support you, especially with how much women's hockey is growing now. There's always going to be that support behind.
And I think my thing is go for it. And I think that my main motto is I want to inspire the next generation. And I think with that, you have to have some trendsetters that change everything. And we did a learn to skate thing with Grow the Game at the local outdoor rink in Tuscaloosa, and Morgan and Rebecca Corson, she's also one of our other defensemen on the team. They had this little girl got on the ice with them, and she fell in love with Morgan and Rebecca. And it was just she never skated or anything before, and the parents were like, Alabama has a women's hockey team and stuff like that. And just seeing that girl fall in love with being on the ice with them, it was just okay, we got to keep doing this for girls in the South. There has to be more hockey available for girls in the South. And, it's just awesome to see the impact that a lot of these players have on little girls. I think for myself, women's hockey was always available to me, but I want to be the person that helps change the story and the timeline for that. I want to help women's hockey grow in the South. I want it to be a huge thing. Just like any other sport is down here, but we just don't have the resources and stuff for that kind of stuff. So, it's kind of hard, but there has to be people that start everything up. And, I'm glad that me, Morgan, Tegan, Kira, everybody else on the team, we're those people to help start up Southern hockey.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And just such an inspiring story. And I, again, when I talked to Morgan the first time, I couldn't get it out of my head. It felt weird. It was the next morning and I'm sitting there why am I thinking about talking to that girl last night? Because I was just so enthralled, when you were telling me about, the grassroots of it. And I was like, all right, I just need to go follow her on Instagram. So I found you guys on there, and then I followed along as much as I could. I'm like, this is so cool. It's just such an interesting story. And I'm like, well, I've got this podcast. I got to have him on because that would be awesome.
Thank you. It's really awesome to hear that it's spreading to a guy in St. Louis. It's not just in Alabama. People from all over are hearing about it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Funny story, whenever you asked me if I'd played before, I got on the ice one time with my dad. My dad probably wanted me to be a big, huge hockey star. Got on the ice. He made me cry the whole time, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. I got off the ice, and I kind of became that little girl that was like the annoying little sister on my brother's team that would always chase them around the rink. I'd always be the one like helping them with like score sheets and stuff like that. And so like I think I kind of found like my spot, like running around the rinks where my dad coached. Like we moved down to Georgia because he started coaching an SPHL team down here, and you know, having those opportunities with my dad and my brother is kind of like what threw me into all of this. Because I've grown around hockey my whole life. Like, you know, being from Edmonton, Canada, like you'd think that everybody there is huge hockey fans. Like hockey's Canada's life. Like, but coming down here and just like being a part of hockey in the South, it's kind of like crazy to think that like I came all the way down here for hockey, but like being able to make a difference, I think that's like what my main thing is like changing these girls' life and other little girls' life. I think that's going to be a huge thing that Alabama hockey strives to do.
So you said that when you were a kid with your brother's team, you would help with the score sheets and all that. So I'm picturing you being like, I forgot the actress's name, but the girl in Remember the Titans.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie before.
Seriously? How about you, Morgan? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you know what it is, right? It is an excellent movie. It's about a football team. It's about a football team going through segregation in the South.
Really?
Yeah.
We'd know about that going to the biggest football school in Alabama. Like...
You would think. Yeah, it was like Ryan Gosling's first movie. Denzel Washington's the head coach. It's fantastic. It's a really good movie, so I recommend it. But yes, I think it was I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Dakota Fanning. Is that an actress?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that was like her first role. She was a little kid. She was like 10 during that movie. And yeah, she was like this kid that loved football and just constantly was like trying to give coaching advice to these, you know, high school kids. So it was, yeah, check it out. Check it out. Come on. Remember the Titans.
Have to check it out. And like you saying that with Grow the Game this next year, we're trying to do like hockey clinics or like street hockey stuff with like underdeserved communities down here. You know, there's a lot of like African American communities down in Alabama and like in the South. And, you know, I think that getting minorities like involved within sports and like hockey, because like you don't really see a lot of like minorities in hockey. And fun fact, TCU, Tennessee State University, pretty sure that's the name. They actually just started the first HBCU college hockey team. So that is going to be big for college hockey in the South, because it's going to be an all African American team. And, you know, just like seeing little girls, like I want them to like change girls' lives like down here. Like that's like my main goal, and like hopefully getting the girls involved with the hockey clinics is going to be like, oh, this is a huge boom for Tuscaloosa.
Well, like I said earlier, in my work life, I use hockey as a reference all the time for teamwork. So it really does teach so much discipline, I think, to kids. And so, yeah, to hear that you're wanting to make that difference, I think is awesome. It's fantastic to hear.
Yeah. Morgan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Morgan wasn't able to come to this. I really wish she would, because the kids would have loved her. We did a little clinic at one of the local schools to like test it out, and the kids loved it. We had Megan come in. She's the goalie for our team, and she put on the goalie pads, and they were all calling her a marshmallow. Just the goalie pads were white, and so like you have like all like the gear on, and they're just like you go from like this little girl into like all with all this gear on, and they're like, but they just all like they fell in love with everything. And we had the guys out there too, and it's just like seeing them like all work together with all of these kids. It's like that's what's going to change the program, is us all working together. And I think that's like what my main goal is to get like more unified with this next year. And especially like with the women's team, like it being their first like official season, that's definitely going to be a big boom for the hockey program down here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. One more question for Morgan, and then I want to play a game with you guys.
Okay.
So Morgan, I have to ask you, because I ask everyone who plays hockey when they come on the show, what are you jamming to before the game? Do you have a pregame playlist that you like to listen to?
I feel like you're gonna think I'm weird. I like literally I feel like I'm the biggest just like talker before games. Like we'll have the speaker going in the locker room. I am never like paying attention. Maybe a good song comes on and then like if everyone's jamming, I'll join in. But I am such like a big chatter. Like I love like just talking before games. Like it gets my mind like going like off like the nervousness. Like I just love chatting with everybody. But Savannah makes these awesome playlists for when we get on the ice and like we're skating around. She does these cool like remix playlists. So that,
actually,
I guess
I'm not the one who finds those. It's actually their coach.
Oh,
Coach Nick. He loves SoundCloud. That is his favorite thing ever. So he goes in, like his pregame ritual because he's like defense. He coaches like the defense. His pregame ritual, he'll send them his favorite song on SoundCloud in their little group chat, and he like is making them a mix for this next year. Love Nick. It's gonna be the Alabama women's hockey warm up mix. Like you know how like people do like warm up mixes and then like interchange different songs. So yeah, he's gonna be doing that for them. But like yeah, they get lit out there. But like, yeah, I like music a lot. So I actually put together their playlist that we play during the games. So yeah.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
I'll go with my pregame jam is what Savannah puts together.
There you go. What's a big song you play on there, Savannah?
Pressure's on.
think.
It's a good one.
Which one?
Gotta pick a good one.
Yeah, I know. Blue Notes by Meek Mill. I don't know if you know that song. It's
I do
very
not.
big hip hop song. I like that song. And then another one is I Love It by Charlie XCX. That is actually one of the goal songs that the girls sent me, Emily Scott.
Nice.
You're gonna see her probably on ESPN or something this year doing a Michigan.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, this was like one of my core memories from the recruit skate that we had. Emily went out there and she did a Michigan, and I just see because like the boys, we kind of did the recruit skate at the same time the boys were there, and like there's like a window behind like one of the goals, like where people can like sit and view, and I just see all of the guys just going like, oh
Yeah.
my god, like oh
She
my
did
god,
it.
and I was just like, yeah, that's definitely gonna be like one of my core memories forever because like guys are getting hype about women's hockey, and like I will say a lot of these girls on this team are definitely better than some of the guys.
Yeah,
That's
fantastic.
they're gonna come in this next year and they're gonna be like, oh wow, like some of these girls could probably like diddle me on the ice. Like it's like crazy.
Yeah, and Morgan, I'll say, I'll side with you. I am the same way. I am a chatter. I talk way too much before games, so I'm with you. Like my team will start. They'll like they've stopped bringing in speakers because they're like Ponder's just going to talk the whole time.
I just talk over the speaker.
Hey, but now you have a podcast, so like this is perfect for you.
Exactly.
And that's what I said. I was like, hey, I have a podcast, so I can just go on and talk. So
Yeah.
of course that's what I'm going to do.
Like yeah. I love the locker room talk though. Like it is like nothing else. Locker
I
room
like
talk.
whenever I come in and they're just like having a conversation, I'll just like butt in. Like I'll be like running around the rink doing like my stuff, and I'll just come in like while they're getting ready, like try and see like what's up, because like I'm gonna be the one that's like coming in there to tell them like, oh yeah, you have 2 minutes until you have to get on the ice. But, like I'll come in there, they're just all chatting, like laughing and stuff like that. Morgan's usually always the one that's sitting over in the corner smiling and laughing. The coaches came up with a nickname for her this past year. Her nickname is Giggles.
Giggles. All right.
That is me.
That's awesome.
You just never see her not smiling.
Oh.
That's good to hear. Well, I think we're going to get some smiles here because we're going to play a little trivia. So
I'm so scared.
do you guys want to work together or do you want to play against each other?
Are you going to make this a competition, Morgan?
I feel like we should make it a competition.
Okay,
All right.
let's
All
make
right.
it
So the way we'll do this, I'll ask the question. Whoever's hand I see go up first, that's who I will call on. All right. So the topic for trivia, it's Alabama trivia. We're going to have trivia about the state of Alabama.
Oh boy.
My mom's from
All right.
Alabama, so this is perfect for me.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. Well, it is multiple choice. So that will help Morgan. But let's get started. We got 10 questions. First one, what is a nickname for the state of Alabama? A, Heart of Dixie, B, Yellowhammer State, C, Cotton State, or D, all of the above? I saw Savannah first. Go ahead.
A.
A? Well, I'll say you're correct, but the answer is actually all of the above.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that we called like the Cotton State
Heart
or
of Dixie,
State.
Yellowhammer State, and Cotton State have all been nicknames for the state of Alabama.
What?
So I don't know. I'll give you a half a point. How about that?
I think you should get points. It was wrong.
All right. Next one is what is the largest lake in Alabama? Is it I'm sorry, what is the largest river in Alabama? Tennessee River, Alabama River, Cahaba River, or Chattahoochee River? And I saw Savannah first.
Chattahoochee.
Do you have an answer, Morgan?
Tennessee.
Morgan is correct. It is the Tennessee River.
Dang. I live on the Chattahoochee River, so I thought it was that one.
I think that's the second biggest. So you were close. All right. In what year did Alabama receive its statehood? Is it 1788, 1819, 1899, or 1996? Morgan.
1819.
1819 is correct. How about that?
That was a
all
good
right.
I'm going to be a disgrace to my mom if I lose this.
You're down, what, 2 to 0.5, I guess we'll say. All right. The father of the blues was born in a log cabin, now restored, with a museum nearby in Florence, Alabama, in 1873. Who is this person? Is it Chuck Berry, W.C. Handy, Howlin' Wolf, or Muddy Waters? Morgan?
Howlin' Wolf.
Savannah, do you have a guess?
Can you repeat the answers?
Yeah, Chuck Berry, W.C. Handy, Howlin' Wolf, or Muddy Waters?
Muddy Waters.
You are both incorrect.
Dang.
It is W.C. Handy.
I was just picking the cool names.
Yeah, well, they all have cool names, I thought. Fun fact about W.C. Handy, Morgan, the Blues March, the dun, 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 that is made by W.C. Handy. So there's a blues tie-in. Yep.
Hey, there we go.
All right. How many national championships has the Alabama Crimson Tide football team won? We got 8, 12, 16, or 20. Morgan.
Is it 16?
That is correct.
Okay.
Step up your game, Savannah.
I know, man. I'm
She's
losing.
The hockey.
How about in what year did Alabama claim its first national football title? 1925, 1931, 1944, or 1977? All right, Savannah.
1931.
And that is incorrect. Morgan, do you have a guess?
I was going to say 1925.
Morgan is killing it. That is correct.
Dang, Morgan.
In what year did running back Derrick Henry win the Heisman Trophy? 2012, 2013, 2014, or 2015? Morgan?
2013?
That's incorrect. Savannah, do you have a guess?
2014?
That is incorrect. It is 2015.
Oh, dang.
All right, 3 more questions. This baseball Hall of Famer was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1934. He holds the MLB records in RBIs, extra base hits, and total base hits. Is that Ricky Henderson, Hank Aaron, Rogers Hornsby, or Frank Robinson? Savannah?
B?
Hank Aaron, that is correct. Yes.
Oh, good job.
Finally got one right, y'all.
Yeah, you're there. You're on the board. Which city in Alabama is known as the Rocket City? Birmingham, Huntsville. Oh, we got Savannah. Go ahead.
Huntsville.
Huntsville is correct.
NASA Space and Science Center is there. I went there when I was because I used to fly down to Alabama when I was younger because my dad met my mom while he was playing hockey down for Birmingham. He's originally from Canada, yeah. So all my mom's family lives in Birmingham, Alabama, and then all my dad's family lives in Canada. So I'm kind of informed on it, but I went there when I was younger, so I knew that one.
Well, there you go. That's a good one to know. All right, one more question. In April 2023, the Carolina Panthers used their number 1 overall pick to draft what Alabama player for the quarterback position? C.J. Stroud, Jalen Milroe, Cade Caruth, or Bryce Young? Savannah Prefontaine, please.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is correct.
How did you
Well,
not
if
know
we're
that
counting-
one, Morgan?
I knew it. You just raised your hand too fast.
If we're counting your 0.5, we got Savannah. You lost 4 to 3.5.
Dang.
Very close.
I was so close, y'all.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for participating. And Morgan, you win nothing except my admiration.
Well, thank you. Enough for me.
So again, want to talk real quickly just about the future of Alabama women's hockey. When does the season start? Do you guys have a schedule yet?
So funny story. We are currently trying to get our schedule approved with the rink, but we get last pick of ice times. So yeah. All the youth clubs get pick over us.
Oh.
Yeah, so
terrible.
that will be coming sometime in June. We will be having, I think about like 12 weekend series, and then playoffs will be February 7th and 9th in Athens, Georgia at their brand new rink. And then nationals will be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, March 14th through the 17th. So
Nice.
really excited for that. I have spent my spring break up in Philadelphia, for the past 2 years with the men's team for nationals. But they finally decided to move it down to the South because all 3 CHS, which is College Hockey South teams, Miami, the men's teams, Miami, South Carolina, and Florida all just won the national championships for AAU. So they decided that it was finally time to bring the national championships down south, which is valid because all of the southern teams have been playing and paying to travel up to the north, and none of the northern teams have to travel anywhere. So like it's kind of fair now, I would say. You'd see like a lot of teams like moving tournaments to make it fair to people rather than having it in the same place. So I'm really glad that it's not in Philadelphia next year, but really excited to have the girls go down there and hopefully win the national championship.
Well, you got a fan right here in St. Louis. They'll be rooting for
Yes,
you.
sir.
So, is there a way to stream your games? Do you know?
Yeah, we will be having streamed games this year. Have you ever heard of Black Dog Hockey before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be streaming through them.
Okay, awesome. I'll try to find a link for that and post it for our listeners.
Thank you.
But awesome. So again, I found out how to follow you guys, but how can people follow along with your journey? Clearly they can, check out game scores and stuff, but like Instagram, where are you guys at? How can they find you?
So we have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We also have a TikTok, and they're all Alabama W Hockey. You can also look up Alabama Women's Hockey. And then we also have a website where you can go check out everything, where our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is also located. We also will be selling merch on there. It's alabamawomenshockey.com. Thank you to Optimix Sports for helping us put that together. Give them a little shout out. But yeah, we are really excited for this upcoming season. I can say that our first little half of the season, it was honestly really unexpected to have all of these games this past year. But I'm really, really, really excited for this upcoming season. I retired from the men's teams to kind of dedicate my time with the women's teams. So I'm really happy about that.
That's fantastic. So you said you were going to be selling merch on there. You're going to be selling those sick jerseys as well?
Yeah, we will probably be reselling those again. We are actually currently going through some redesigning right now, with new logos and stuff like that to try and make it to where we don't have to put this very unattractive Alabama Club Sports logo on everything we sell. So kind of trying to come up with our own little design right now, but the merch will probably drop in whenever the season starts.
All right, I got a merch idea for you.
Okay.
You make Alabama women's hockey T-shirts, and on the back, you make it look like a taped number on the back to remind you of your roots.
That is such a smart idea.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that.
wait, I'll write that down.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to tell. I'm gonna get off this call and go tell all our staff about that. I will add in this.
Awesome
This staff that we have this next year is probably the best group I have ever had. Working in hockey, I've been like the director for all of the Alabama men's teams, their staff and stuff like that. But seeing how many people wanted to work for the women's team, it was like I was taken away whenever I like went and opened the applications. We had over 50 applicants, and I could only take a few. Like I couldn't take all of them, and it was really hard trying to pick everybody out because they were all so qualified. But like, it's just gonna be so awesome. Like I'm so excited. Like the staff is gonna be amazing, and it's just like, yeah. And it's like the first year that I've had men on my staff. And it's kind of crazy because like they didn't want to work for the men's teams, and I was just like, okay. But like women's sports, we're on the come up. Like it's like they have so many people that are wanting to make this program happen and grow, and that is what I'm super thankful for because they are going to set the standard for Alabama hockey.
That's great to hear, and I agree. I love seeing, especially in hockey, because that's my sport, but I love seeing the women's sport rising. Again, the PWHL has been nothing but a success. And then, Morgan, the Lady Cyclones out here in St. Louis are such a top-notch organization, run so well. Seeing this rise in Alabama is so cool, and I will be following along with you guys. And Morgan, I'm going to say it here, but I don't need you to hold on to that right now, but we would love to do some work with you over the summer, which we'll talk about off air. But yeah, I'm very excited to watch your guys' transformation. Keep up the excellent work, and thank you very much for joining the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So much.
We loved being here. It's definitely going to give us like better traction with our viewers and fans and stuff like that. So like we can't thank you enough for giving us this opportunity. It's the first gig that we've kind of had with the girls, so like I'm really excited about that. They actually will be having a documentary coming out.
Wow, okay.
Gonna add that in there.
Way to bury the lead.
So thank you to UA Public Television and their interns, Jocelyn Claiborne and Emily Rabidou. I really hope that I pronounced her name right. But they decided to come and film like a little documentary about them. So they're still working on that. They're going to be doing like little side stories with some of the players. But yeah, that'll be coming out probably in the fall, hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, this was Savannah and Morgan from the Alabama women's hockey team. So I again want to thank Morgan and Savannah for joining us, and that was just an unbelievable, fun time to just, again, that story of them developing their own team for a university, just unbelievable. Such an inspiring story, and again, for any of you who might be wanting to do that for your school, whether you're high school, you're at a college, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I could put you in touch with them, and I'm sure they'd be happy to help because it's just, hey, let's keep growing the game. That's what this is all about. Next week, we do not have anything lined up yet. So we'll have something, but just no true setup interview or planned show yet, but I'm sure we'll have something. Well, we will have something because we are weekly. Just stay tuned to us on social media. We will let you know what will be coming down the pipeline. So that'll do it for this show. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Mike Burgoyne from Real Brokerage Realty. Email him at mike@strikewithmike.com today for all of your home buying and selling needs. That's mike@strikewithmike.com. And by Wolf Power Washing, St. Louis' premier power washing company with the best rates in town. Call Joe Wolf at 314-420-5434 and get the best looking and greatest power washer in the area. That's 314-420-5434. That will do it for episode 32 of season 13 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great week, everyone. For Kurt Price, Bill Day, and producer Austin, I'm Jeff Ponder, and I will talk with you next week. This was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues. Roll Tide!
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at fourth.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well,
There's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues.
The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend.